Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn how to cut this 6 pieces princess dart bustier blouse. So like always, we'll start by marking out our basic bodies, and after which we'll move over to the creating of the bustier. So first of all, mark our bust span, which is 4 inches, after which we'll go over to the armhole length and divide it by 2. So the armhole length is 8. Now divide it by 2, which will give us 4, and then we'll be coming out by 1 inches. So coming down by 1 inches, and then we'll go out by 1 inches, which will now connect back to the bust span line, like so. Now connect it back to the bust span line. I like to first of all trace the line before I now connect it, since I'm making use of freehand. Having done that, we'll now move over to the neckline. We'll be making use of U-shaped neckline for this blouse. So we'll be going down by 5 inches, and then we'll make use of 5 inches for the neck width. So basically we made use of 5 inches by 5 inches. You can decide to make use of any neckline shape you want. So, but for this, I will be making use of U-shaped neckline. So at the under bust, I'll be going out by 1.5 inches, while I'll be using half inches at the left hand side. So we'll now connect this back to the bust span line. While at the bust point, I'll be coming up by half inches and then going down by half inches, and then we'll connect this back to the under bust line. So at the chest line, I'll be going out by half an inch, after which we'll impute the remaining part of the measurement, bearing in mind that whatever you use for the dart, you have to add it back. So that's what I'm doing here. So whatever you removed for the dart, you have to add it back, because if you don't, it will alter your measurements and all that. So I will be making use of my round upper hip for the full length, after which I will come up by 1 inch to give it that curvy shape. Made use of half inches for the shoulder slant. So that's it for the princess dart bustier blouse. We'll now cut it and then move over to the 6 pieces part. So in order to create the 6 pieces part, you have to bring in a total new pattern paper. You place one of the pattern that you've already created on it, using tape or any other thing to hold it in place so that it will not shift. So here I'm making use of tape to hold it in place, because I'll be tracing the whole thing on the new pattern paper. So we'll be making use of 2.5 inches at the both sides of the full length. We'll be adding 2.5 inches on the both sides of the full length. Like, first of all, I'll mark out a line, and then I'll be using 2.5. I will be adding 2.5 inches on the both sides. So here I'm marking out the 2.5 inches. I'll do the same thing at the other side. I'll connect it to the half length, like so. While I do the same thing at the other side too. Same 2.5 inches. I'll still connect it to the half length. After which I will now trace out the remaining parts of the pattern, because it is this one now that we'll make use of in cutting out the material. So we'll now cut it out. and keep it aside while we bring the center pattern. So for the center pattern, you have to either cut it open or you trace it out on fold. So for the front center pattern, you still have to make use of a fresh new pattern paper. You place it, you trace it out on fold, or you first of all cut open the center pattern. So here I'm tracing it out. You have to remember to mark out your half length too, because it is still the same half length that you'll be connecting the 2.5 inches on the both side to. So at the center pattern, we'll still be making use of the 2.5 inches like we did at the side pattern. So here I'm connecting the 2.5 inches from this half length to the full length like we did on the other side pattern. So that's basically all for the center pattern. So after which you have to join the first of all, when you want to sew, you first of all join the center pattern together before you start joining the side patterns together. So this back pattern is still the same thing as the front pattern. The only thing is that for the back pattern, you just have to add 1 inches for zip allowance. So that's it for this pattern. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't.